Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over an email that was sent from a subscriber. And this whole email is from a young guy, I believe he's about 25 years old. And long story short, out of nowhere, his girlfriend of 3 years breaks up with him. And breaks up with him for another guy. And this guy is obviously hurting, going through a tough time because he can't understand how she could just do that after 3 years where literally a few days earlier, she was telling him that she loved him and all that, and then a few days later, boom, she's breaking up with him and hooking up with one of her male coworkers. And he just can't believe she'd do this to him because she thought that she was a good girl and all these things there. This guy's going through a tough time. And I chose this one today, guys, because I don't think there's any guy watching this right now that either something like this either happened to you or somebody you know, where they thought everything was great and there was no, in their view, there was no red flags, and boom, she kicks him to the curb and she's hooking up with some other dude, okay? So I'm going to go through this here. He tells a story, and I'm going to try to break down and show you where I saw some red flags, or maybe he didn't, which led down this path, and also what, in my opinion, he can do to help get back on track and so forth in his life, because he's going through a tough time here. So it starts off, Hi SSM. First of all, thank you for your amazing channel. You've helped me so much with your content. You're like a real big brother that most of us young guys never had. You're welcome, man. I'm here to help. Glad to do it. And I hope after this video, this can really help you get some insight as to what I think happened in your situation, and I can help you really turn things around in your life, okay? So I am 26 years old, and I'm from France. Love your country, man. I've been to France many times. Paris is my favorite city in the world. I cannot wait to go back there once all this COVID shit is done with the world. I absolutely cannot wait. The food is amazing. The wine's amazing. I'm not a big drinker, but I love French wine. Beautiful women everywhere. Great art, great history. I love Paris. Any of you guys any of you guys that like to travel haven't been there yet, go for it. Because the stereotypes about the Parisians are not like they were 20 years ago, okay? Try to speak the language a little bit. Don't dress like an American slob. And believe me, you'll be just fine there. Okay, it's just a little travel tip for you. Because Paris is great. Anyway. And 1 week ago, I just got dumped out of nowhere by my girlfriend. And the way that happens really confused the hell out of me. Because she told me that she really loves me from both Monday through Wednesday of last week. And then on Friday, she just broke up with me just now. Now, I want to go in depth in the whole specifics so people can really understand the whole story. So literally, like he said, she was telling me that she loved him and all that. And a couple days later, boom, he's toast. How many of you guys have been in a situation like that? Well, usually when that happens, there's something else going on behind the scenes, as you're going to see. I met my girlfriend in 2018, and since then we've been together till April 2021. So this just happened. Where she breaks up with me. She was a good girl. No such thing, bro. Not in this world anymore. I know that's a tough pill to swallow for a lot of you guys, but not in this world, not anymore. She was always telling me nice things. She was very supportive. She was always chasing me and always wanted to be on my side all the time. And she was always very happy when she saw me every time. Everything was fine until last week, where I barely lost my mind over what happened. Well, clearly not everything was fine if what happened, okay? I'm guessing this guy was obviously on cloud 9 with her because he obviously was really into her and all that. She's probably good looking and hot. And she was doing all these things that made him feel great and feel like the king. So it was easy to overlook some red flags because trust me, if she was madly in love with this guy, she wouldn't have just broken up with him like that and moved on to somebody else. Okay, so there were things going on. Guaranteed there were things that either this guy was saying or doing to turn her off, or there were just other things going on there. Basically, this is how it went. From Monday to Wednesday, everything was cool. She always wanted to have my attention and was still chasing and everything. Thursday morning, she proposes that we eat sushi on Saturday when I will visit her on Saturday. On Thursday evening, she had a small party at her apartment with her girlfriends, where she also invited one of her guy coworkers. A guy coworker that she found cool, she used to say, and I joked one time that this guy that she always invited is kind of a dick in the fridge, right? And she just laughed innocently and said no. So there you go. Here we go. She had a party, and she invited all her girlfriends and this one guy. Let me tell you what's going on here. The second I read this, I instantly knew what was going on. She likes the guy at work, the male coworker, and this guy obviously doesn't like him because he can see this guy's probably kind of he said flat out, this guy's a jerk. Okay, he's probably a bad boy type. She had a party, invited all her girlfriends over and this one guy. Why? Because it was an excuse to get the guy to be around her. If she just invited this guy over, obviously that'd be a problem. But she invited all her girlfriends over and this one guy, and that way she has an opportunity to be around him and be close to him and see what happens. Now, also I want to point out, the fact that this guy here knows about him, that's a red flag. Because obviously she brought this guy, this male coworker, up to her boyfriend here, the guy who wrote the story. And when women bring up other guys like that, a lot of times that's their way of communicating, hey dude, this is your replacement if you keep screwing up. Now, I'm not there. I don't know all the details of what happened with this guy's life and the situation with her, but this is a trick a lot of women do. They'll bring up some other guy out of nowhere, and they bring up a lot because obviously they like him, and that's the way of communicating. Either you step up and fix whatever you're doing that's turning me off, or this guy's going to replace you. Right there. And then this whole thing about inviting everybody to the party and he's the only guy. Bullshit. That's what it was. They had the party, blah, blah. This Thursday evening was oddly quiet because she always texts me goodnight before she goes to sleep. But that night, nothing came through. By the way, I didn't know that the guy coworker was at the girls' evening until she told me later, but I was suspecting it. So normally she texts this guy and all that, like a supposed good girlfriend. But that night that she threw the party, and obviously that guy was there, no texting. Why? Because probably that's when she was making her move on this guy to see if in fact he liked her or whatever. And watch what happens next. On Friday morning, still nothing, and in the afternoon, she sends me a message that said that we need to talk about our relationship. Thursday night she has the party, the guy's there, no doubt probably they were hooking up, and then Friday morning, boom, we need to talk. I had no idea what was going on since I believed her when she told me that she has no feelings for the guy coworker and that he was just a good homie. Bullshit. She was just biding her time. That's what I think was going on. She obviously liked this guy, this coworker, and obviously she was still staying with the guy who wrote this story, the boyfriend, because he was safe. But she had an opportunity through the party, invite all the girls over and this one guy, and obviously one thing led to another, and she obviously learned that the guy liked her, and now that she has a replacement, now she no longer leaves the boyfriend. Meanwhile, she's been telling him that she loves him and all this stuff up until that very moment, and boom, now we need to talk. On Friday evening, I came to her apartment. I found her really weird and abnormal. She asked me to sit down, and then she told me that we were kind of different, and she wants to break up with me, and to make it easy on her, listen to this, she made out with her male coworker the night before so she can break up easily. What'd I tell you? That's exactly what happened. She threw the party on purpose to get the guy over there to see. And if the guy probably turned her down, then this wouldn't have happened and she would have stayed on with this guy. Guys, a lot of women cannot be alone, okay? So they'll stay in a relationship with a guy that they don't have any feelings for until they can find a replacement. And then they'll move on and they'll break up with the guy. And the guys are just with their hands in the air, not understanding what happened. They can't get, how could she possibly fall out of love with me or do that to me just like that because he's hurting, right? That's because she stayed in the relationship far longer past that when she stopped obviously having feelings for this guy a long time ago. Now, the honorable thing to do for her would have been to end the relationship. Okay, just say, we're in a different place. I don't feel that way anymore, blah, 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 and break up with him. No, she's selfish, like a lot of women are. And so she just strung him along until she found the replacement and then kicks his ass to the curb. Okay? So guys, let me tell you something. If you ever are in relationships and you break up with a girl and you feel bad about it, well, guess what? Don't feel too bad because this type of thing happens all the time. Okay? I know women that do this. Okay? They cannot be alone and they've broken up with guys, but they always had a replacement like that already lined up before they even do the breaking up. So don't ever feel bad if you got to break up with a girl. Okay? Because trust me, they do way worse. He says here, I didn't see it coming. I trusted her when she told me that she had no feelings for him. That drives me crazy, SSM. I couldn't resist, SSM. I cried in front of her because I wasn't expecting that from her, because we used to talk about monkey branching and said together that we would find it really, really not cool, insecure, and shitty, and this is exactly what she did to me. And I found out that she slept with this guy 3 days after she breaks up with me, and that hit me really hard, imagining another man with her, kissing her, and having you-know-what with her. It just breaks my heart completely, and I just can't get it. I just can't get how fast it has happened. Was she lying to me the whole time? How can that be so fast? Or was she seeing the dude more frequently than she told me? Well, like I just said, I think probably in the beginning when this guy and her got together, obviously she grew feelings for him, and obviously probably in her version, a woman's version of love, loved him. But at some point, obviously that changed. But again, instead of being honorable about it and acting mature and respectful by just breaking up with the guy, she stayed with him, okay? Do I know if she was lying about being in love with him the whole time? I don't know that. I'm going to say probably not. Her idea of love, so she obviously stayed with him. Do I know if she was hooking up with that dude left and right before the whole party at the apartment? I don't know either. But I'd be willing to bet all the money I have that party was on purpose to get that guy over to see. And then once, they obviously hooked up one way or another, and she saw that okay, it's a done deal. I can now have this guy, and I can ditch the boyfriend. That's what happened. I'd be willing to bet all the money I have that's what happened, okay? So, and that sucks. It really does. But this type of thing happens to a lot of guys. This is why I chose this video, okay? This is how a lot of women operate. It's shameless and it's horrible, but it happens. 1 week later, I asked her to come to my apartment and take the few things that she had, and when she came in, I didn't recognize her. She was cold, distant, and didn't even look at me once when I was talking to her. I really felt undervalued. I was thinking that maybe someone took control of her body. That wasn't the girl which I spent 3 years with, I swear. That was crazy. How can somebody that pretends she loves you, cheats on you cheats on you emotionally with her male coworker within a relationship, makes out with him 1 day before she breaks up with you, and has you-know-what with him 2 days after the breakup, and acts arrogant, cold, and distant towards you, all just within 2 weeks? That's how they operate. Now, a lot of times women, their emotion, they got a whole emotion-based CPU, an operating system, if you will. That's how they run, by emotion. And you can literally have a woman 1 minute that says she's in love with you, and then something happens and it pisses her off, and then she hates you. And that's how she's feeling that moment, okay? Guys are not exactly built like that. We don't operate like that generally. But I stick to my theory that absolutely, that at some point she fell in love with a guy, but stayed with him, okay? That's how a lot do. And I think the reason she's acting so cold and heartless and arrogant and all that when he saw her, obviously, a little bit later on at his apartment, is because also guarantee you, she knows that she was acting like an asshole. She knows that, okay? What she did was wrong, and she knows it. So by being around this guy, obviously it reminds her of that, and obviously, see, there's the old joke about women and accountability. Women don't like to admit they're wrong. Hence gaslighting, and they do something wrong, and they twist it around and blame the guy for it. You're the reason I cheat. It's because of what you did or what you didn't do is why I cheated on you, or this, and this, okay? A lot of women gaslight, okay? And I know many of you guys know this and been on the receiving end of that, okay? Because they want to admit they screwed up because, God forbid, they were actually wrong in something, so they make it your fault. So by her being around this guy, I guarantee at some level she feels bad, doesn't like the fact that she feels bad, so she's acting very cold and distant and all that. That's what's going on, guaranteed. And the fact that she's like, whatever. Goes on. I asked her if she's going to have a relationship with a coworker, and she tells me no. That's BS. But I call BS on that. Good. Trust your gut. I asked her if there was another chance between the two of us. No, dude. Do not ask her that. I know it's stupid, but I felt weak at the moment. And she directly answers no, with no hesitation. Well, number one, don't ask her that, because she doesn't deserve a second chance with you. You've been a good guy, good boyfriend, so she doesn't deserve that. She's a cheater. She's a liar. She's a user. She doesn't get a second chance with you. But also, don't say that, okay? You know, I mean, I know it was hard. I know you said when she first broke up with you and you didn't see it coming, you broke down and cried. You don't want to cry in front of a woman, guys. I mean, if you feel that thing coming on, get out of there, okay? Because that's going to make her have even less respect for you. Trust me. In spite of what so many women claim that they want a guy that's emotional and they'll be crying for him and all that. Don't ever do it. Don't. I just don't get it. I feel like I missed 1 or 2 episodes. What do you think really happened between her and the coworker? Well, I answered that question. Did they already begin hooking up together before the breakup? I think so. Was she lying to me that she loves me so I can stay close to her and so she can find a replacement in my back and then break my heart? I don't get this. This is so strange. I'm very confused, guys. Thanks. Yeah, I think that's exactly what happened. At some point, she lost attraction for whatever reason, but she stayed with you because a lot of women don't want to be alone, whether because simply they just want a guy in their life, they want its resources, who knows what it is. But she was waiting to find a replacement. She found a replacement, and that's that. So it sucks, man. I'm sorry for you, but you're not alone, okay? Trust me, you are not alone. There are plenty of guys that this happens to, okay? When this video is over, I'm just gonna encourage guys to help this guy out, share some stories, and these guys, I'm addressing the guy who wrote this email. You're gonna see you're not alone. But my recommendation from this point on to get over her is the following. Based on my life experience, here's what I would do. First and foremost, cut off all communication and ties with her right now. The second this video is over, done. That means if you are connected to her on social media, Facebook, Instagram, whatever the hell you young people do, block her. Or at least don't follow her anymore, okay? So that way then you're not going to see her popping up on your social media on your phone or computer, and that's going to make it, because it's going to make it very hard for you to get over her, okay? So unfollow her or block her, whatever you got to do to make it that you can't keep seeing pictures of her reminding you of her, because the more you see of her, the harder it's going to be for you to move on, okay? So block all that stuff, okay? Next, do not contact her in any way, shape, or form for anything. I don't care what it is. If she left her toothbrush behind at your apartment or her freaking bra or whatever it is, throw it out, okay? Do not contact her. I don't care if it's her birthday, it's Christmas, if somebody in her family passed away in a tragic accident, she's dead to you. Do not contact her, okay? She doesn't deserve that. And you're not going to be able to get over her anyway. That leading to me saying you don't want to get back with her because of what she did to you. If you got back with her after what she did to you and she knows what she did to you was wrong, she's going to have zero respect for you, okay? Zero, okay? She obviously lost respect when you asked her if there's a chance for us again. And I know you know that you shouldn't have done that, but your emotions took over. Do not get back with her, okay? She's a liar, she's a user, and I guarantee you, dude, mark my words, if you don't talk to her anymore, you move on completely, no emails, no phone calls, no texts, after a while, she's going to wonder what happened to you because she's going to expect you to reach out to her. Guaranteed. Her perception of you is that you're the type of guy that's going to chase after her and beg her and all that for a second chance and all that crap you see in the movies. Don't do that. Move on, okay? Never contact her again. And mark my words, she will reach out. She will reach out because it will drive her crazy that you're not crying and chasing after her and all that. And in that moment, you will have the sweet little revenge that you definitely deserve by seeing that she reached out to you. And at that point then, you're going to have to decide how you handle it, okay? Personally, if it was me, given what she did, I'd tell her to F off. But that's just me. But you may decide, you may want to, let me put it this way. I would never get back to her again, ever again. Ever, ever, ever. But if you decide that she reaches out to you, and you know what? I want to say this also. Given the way you described the guy that she obviously, the coworker, I'm willing to bet you, karma's a bitch, I'm willing to bet you that he is going to have his fun with her and kick her to the curb at some point. And then she'll come crawling back to you. And you can then decide whether you want to tell her to F off, which I would do, or you could tell her to come over to your place, and get her to do all the freaky, kinky shit that you ever wanted done, and then you kick her ass to the curb and dump her. But I would advise thinking about that before you do that, because as funny as that would be, and as satisfying, accusations could be made, and the next thing you know, you got a major problem. So, frankly, I would stick to the basically F off, don't mess it up the next time around, move on. But I would spend your time right now, after obviously cutting her off, don't reach out to her, cut off social media, is working on yourself. doing things to improve your life. Go back to doing things that you enjoyed, hanging out with your friends, doing all your hobbies and interests, joining a gym, exercising, whatever it happens to be, getting a better job, saving money, whatever it is. And then eventually when you're ready, because obviously you want to have relationships and date and all that, start dating other women, because that'll make you get over her real quick, only after you've healed and gotten over this yourself. Because you're not going to get over this overnight. You've been with her for like 3 years. It's going to take time. But every day that passes now, it will get easier and easier. Mark my words. If you got to mark something on your refrigerator, like on the calendar or something, that every day you survived another day, do it, okay? And you'll have a visual thing to see that you're making progress every day. But do not get back with her. She's done. But mark my words, you don't contact her, she will reach out, and she'll probably reach out to you once this guy kicks her ass to the curb, because she knows, in her mind, she thinks that you'll take her back. Don't be that guy. Do not be that guy, bro. And learn from this hard experience. Learn to pay attention to the red flags, okay? Because I know you didn't think there were any red flags, but there were. By her bringing up that dude, that was a red flag, okay? Always pay attention to that. And also, go into this as a very hard learning experience. And this is some of the crap that women can pull, okay? They can be ruthless and heartless. So you shouldn't feel bad if you're ever in a situation that you break up with a girl, okay? Because it's been done to you. But anyhow, man, I really wish you the best. I thank you for writing this email. This will help some guys out there. Your situation, your story. Take it one day at a time. Work on yourself. Don't reach out to her, and go from there. You're going to be all right, bro. Trust me. All right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Let this guy know. Give him a little help. Give him a little cheering on to move on. Let him know about a situation you've been in that's been similar and how you moved on. It will help him, because mark my words, he's going to read every single comment. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.